Bulgaria is a country in the Balkans, on the Black Sea. It borders 5 other countries, which are Greece, Turkey, North Macedonia, Serbia, and Romania. The flag of Bulgaria is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of white, green, and red. The capital and largest city in the nation is Sofia, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 42,871 square miles, or 111,036 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of Tennessee, and has a population of over 6.5 million people, which ranks it behind Libya. Bulgaria has a purchasing power parity GDP of $155.06 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $22,400. Finland is a country in Northern Europe. It borders 3 other countries, which are Norway, Russia, and Sweden. The flag of Finland features a blue Nordic cross on top of a white background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Helsinki, which has a population of over 600,000 people. The country has an area of 130,681 square miles, or 338,462 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit smaller than the state of Montana, and has a population of over 5.5 million people, which ranks it ahead of Norway. Finnish is the most common language, which is spoken by 86.5% of the population. Finland has a purchasing power parity GDP of $261.39 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $47,300. Norway is a country in Northern Europe, on the North Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 3 other countries, which are Russia, Finland, and Sweden. The flag of Norway features a blue Nordic cross, with a white border on a red background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Oslo, which has a population of just under 700,000 people. The country has an area of 148,718 square miles, or 385,178 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of New Mexico, and has a population of over 5.5 million people, which ranks it ahead of the Republic of the Congo. Norway has a purchasing power parity GDP of $342.06 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $63,600. Indonesia is an island nation in Southeast Asia, on the Indian and Pacific Ocean. It borders 3 other countries, which are Papua New Guinea, Malaysia, and Timor-Leste. The flag of Indonesia is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of red and white. The capital and largest city in the country is Jakarta, which is located on the island of Java. The nation has an area of 740,122 square miles, or 1,916,907 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than Mexico, and has a population of over 277 million people, which ranks it 4th in the world. 51.7% of the nation's land is made up of forests. Indonesia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $3.13 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $11,400. Cameroon is a country in Central Africa, on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 6 other countries, which are the Central African Republic, Equatorial Guinea, the Republic of the Congo, Chad, Gabon, and Nigeria. The flag of Cameroon is made up of 3 vertical stripes of green, red, and yellow, with a yellow 5-point star in the center of the flag. The capital of the nation is Yaoundé, and the largest city is Douala, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 179,943 square miles, or 466,050 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of California, and has a population of over 29 million people, which ranks it behind Venezuela. Cameroon has a purchasing power parity GDP of $94.94 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $3,600. Montenegro is a country in the Balkans, on the Adriatic Sea. It borders either 4 or 5 other countries, depending on if you recognize Kosovo. The others being Bosnia and Herzegovina, Albania, Croatia, and Serbia. The flag of Montenegro features a coat of arms on top of a red background, which is surrounded by a golden border. The capital and largest city in the country is Podgorica, which has a population of over 150,000 people. The country has an area of 5,362 square miles, or 13,888 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Connecticut, and has a population of over 600,000 people, which ranks it ahead of Cabo Verde. Montenegro has a purchasing power parity GDP of $11.36 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $18,300. East Timor, or Timor-Leste, is an island nation in Southeast Asia. It shares the island of Timor with Indonesia. The flag of East Timor is made up of 2 triangles, of black and yellow stacked on top of each other, on a red background, with a white star on the left side of the flag. The capital and largest city in the country is Dili, which has a population of over 244,000 people. The nation has an area of 5,760 square miles, or 14,919 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of Connecticut, and has a population of over 1 million people, which ranks it behind Bahrain. East Timor has a purchasing power parity GDP of $4.19 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $3,200. Yemen is a country in the Middle East. It borders 2 other countries, which are Oman and Saudi Arabia. The flag of Yemen is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, white, and black. The largest city in the nation is Sana'a, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 203,891 square miles, or 528,076 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Afghanistan, and has a population of over 30 million people, which ranks it ahead of Nepal. Arabic is the official language of the nation. Yemen has a purchasing power parity GDP of $73.63 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,500. Eritrea is a country in East Africa on the Red Sea. It borders 3 other countries, which are Sudan, Djibouti, and Ethiopia. The flag of Eritrea features a red triangle on the left, dividing the flag into 2 sections of green and blue, with a wreath and olive branch on the left side. The capital and largest city in the nation is Asmara. The country has an area of 46,757 square miles, or 121,100 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Pennsylvania, and has a population of over 6 million people, which ranks it ahead of Kyrgyzstan. Eritrea has a purchasing power parity GDP of $9.702 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,600. Jordan is a country in the Middle East, on the Red Sea. It borders either 4 or 5 other countries, depending on if you recognize the state of Palestine. The others being Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Syria, and Israel. The flag of Jordan is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of black, white, and green, with a red triangle on the left side which contains a white star. The capital and largest city in the nation is Amman. The country has an area of 34,486 square miles, or 89,318 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Indiana, and has a population of just under 11 million people, which ranks it ahead of the Czech Republic. Jordan has a purchasing power parity GDP of $100.16 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $9,800. Georgia is a country in the Caucasus Mountains on the Black Sea. It borders 4 other countries which are Turkey, Armenia, Russia, and Azerbaijan. The flag of Georgia features a red cross on top of a white background, dividing the flag into 4 sections, each of which contains a smaller red cross. The capital and largest city in the nation is Tbilisi, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 26,911 square miles, or 69,700 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of West Virginia, and has a population of just under 5 million people, which ranks it ahead of Panama. Georgia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $52.33 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $14,100. Ethiopia is a landlocked country in Eastern Africa. It borders 6 other countries which are South Sudan, Djibouti, Sudan, Eritrea, Somalia, and Kenya. The flag of Ethiopia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of green, yellow, and red, with the national emblem in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Addis Ababa, which has a population of over 3 million people. The country has an area of 410,678 square miles, or 1,063,652 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Bolivia, and has a population of over 113.5 million people, which ranks it behind the Philippines. Ethiopia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $264.05 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,300. Azerbaijan is a country on the Caspian Sea. It borders 5 other countries which are Iran, Armenia, Turkey, Georgia, and Russia. The flag of Azerbaijan is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of blue, red, and green, as well as a white 8-pointed star, and a crescent moon in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Baku, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 33,436 square miles, or 86,600 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Maine, and has a population of over 10 million people, which ranks it ahead of Portugal. Azerbaijan has a purchasing power parity GDP of $138.51 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $13,700. Peru is a country in South America on the Pacific Ocean. It borders 5 other countries which are Bolivia, Ecuador, Brazil, Colombia, and Chile. The flag of Peru is made up of 3 vertical stripes of red and white. The capital and largest city in the nation is Lima. The country has an area of 496,225 square miles, or 1,285,216 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Alaska, and has a population of over 32 million people, which ranks it ahead of Mozambique. The most common religion is Roman Catholicism, which makes up 60% of the population. Peru has a purchasing power parity GDP of $371.29 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $11,300. Croatia is a country on the Balkan Peninsula, on the Adriatic Sea. It borders 5 other countries which are Bosnia and Herzegovina, Slovenia, Hungary, Serbia, and Montenegro. The flag of Croatia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, white, and blue, with the coat of arms in the middle of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Zagreb, which has a population of over 600,000 people. The country has an area of 21,851 square miles, or 56,594 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than Togo, and has a population of over 4 million people, which ranks it ahead of Mauritania. Croatia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $107.11 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $26,500. Samoa is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The flag of Samoa features a blue field in the upper left corner, on top of a red background, which contains 4 white stars in the shape of the Southern Cross. The capital and largest city in the country is Apia, which has a population of over 35,000 people. The country has an area of 1,093 square miles, or 2,831 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Rhode Island, and has a population of over 206,000 people, which ranks it ahead of St. Lucia. Samoan is the most common language and is spoken by 91.1% of the population. Samoa has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.25 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $6,300. Canada is a country in North America, on the Pacific, Atlantic, and Arctic Oceans. It borders 1 other country, which is the United States. The flag of Canada is made up of 3 vertical stripes of red and white, with a red maple leaf in the center of the flag. The capital of the nation is Ottawa, and the largest city is Toronto, which has a population of over 2.5 million people. The country has an area of 3,855,103 square miles, or 9,984,670 square kilometers, which makes it the 2nd largest nation in the world, and has a population of over 38 million people, which ranks it ahead of Poland. Canada has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.742 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $45,900. Italy is a country in southern Europe, on the Mediterranean Sea. It borders 6 other countries which are Austria, San Marino, Vatican City, France, Switzerland, and Slovenia. The flag of Italy is made up of 3 vertical stripes of green, white, and red. The capital and largest city in the nation is Rome, which has a population of over 2 million people. The country has an area of 116,629 square miles, or 302,068 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of Arizona, and has a population of over 61 million people, which ranks it ahead of Tanzania. Italy contains 2 independent countries, San Marino and Vatican City, which is completely surrounded by Rome. Italy has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.322 trillion and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $39,000. India is a country in South Asia, on the Indian Ocean. There are 6 other countries which are Bangladesh, Pakistan, Bhutan, Myanmar, Nepal, and China. The flag of India is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of saffron, white, and green, with a blue wheel in the center. The capital of the nation is New Delhi, and the largest city by city proper is Mumbai, formerly known as Bombay, which has a population of over 12 million people. The country has an area of 1,269,299 square miles, or 3,287,469 square kilometers, which makes it around a third of the size of the United States, and has a population of over 1 billion people, which ranks it second in the world. India has a purchasing power parity GDP of $8.443 trillion and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $6,100. Switzerland is a country in Central Europe. It borders 5 other countries which are Austria, Germany, Italy, France, and Liechtenstein. The flag of Switzerland features a white cross on top of a red background and is unique being in the shape of a square. The largest city in the nation is Zurich, which has a population of over 423,000 people. The country has an area of 15,943 square miles, or 41,291 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the Netherlands, and has a population of over 8.5 million people, which ranks it ahead of Togo. It was neutral in both world wars and didn't join the UN until 2002. Switzerland has a purchasing power parity GDP of $590.71 billion and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $68,400. Denmark is a country in Northern Europe, on the Baltic and North Seas. It borders one other country, which is Germany. The flag of Denmark features a white Nordic cross on top of a red background, and is the oldest national flag still in use. The capital and largest city in the nation is Copenhagen. The country has an area of 16,577 square miles, or 42,934 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the Netherlands, and has a population of a little under 6 million people, which ranks it ahead of Turkmenistan. Denmark has a purchasing power parity GDP of $326.2 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $55,900. Lebanon is a country in the Middle East, on the Mediterranean Sea. It borders 2 other countries, which are Israel and Syria. The flag of Lebanon is made of 3 horizontal stripes of red and white, with a green symbol of a cedar tree in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Beirut, which has a population of over 1.5 million people. The country has an area of 4,036 square miles, or 10,452 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than Jamaica, and has a population of over 5 million people, which ranks it ahead of Ireland. Lebanon has a purchasing power parity GDP of $79.51 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $11,600. Sweden is a country in Northern Europe, on the Baltic Sea. It borders 2 other countries, which are Norway and Finland. The flag of Sweden features a yellow Nordic cross on top of a blue background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Stockholm, which has a population of a little under 1 million people. The country has an area of 172,752 square miles, or 447,425 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of California, and has a population of over 10 million people, which ranks it behind Greece. Sweden has a purchasing power parity GDP of $524.75 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $50,700. Belgium is a country in Western Europe, on the North Sea. It borders 4 other countries, which are the Netherlands, France, Germany, and Luxembourg. The flag of Belgium is made up of 3 vertical stripes of black, yellow, and red. The capital and largest city in the nation is Brussels, which is also the seat of the European Union. The country has an area of 11,787 square miles, or 30,528 square kilometers, which makes it about the size of the state of Maryland, and has a population of over 11.5 million people, which ranks it ahead of South Sudan. Belgium has a purchasing power parity GDP of $557.11 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $48,200. Nigeria is a country in West Africa on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 4 other countries, which are Benin, Niger, Cameroon, and Chad. The flag of Nigeria is made up of 3 vertical stripes of green and white. The capital of the nation is Abuja, and the largest city is Lagos. The country has an area of 356,669 square miles, or 923,768 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Venezuela, and has a population of over 225 million people, which makes it the most populous country in Africa. Nigeria has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.013 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $4,900. Portugal is a country on the Iberian Peninsula, on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders one other country, which is Spain. The flag of Portugal is divided vertically into 2 sections of green and red, with the coat of arms on the center left of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Lisbon, which has a population of over 500,000 people. The country has an area of 35,608 square miles, or 92,225 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Virginia, and has a population of over 10 million people, which ranks it ahead of the United Arab Emirates. Portugal has a purchasing power parity GDP of $331.64 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $32,200. Austria is a landlocked country in Central Europe. It borders 8 other countries, which are Switzerland, the Czech Republic, Slovenia, Germany, Slovakia, Hungary, Liechtenstein, and Italy. The flag of Austria is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red and white. The capital and largest city in the nation is Vienna, which has a population of just under 2 million people. The country has an area of 32,387 square miles, or 83,883 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of South Carolina, and has a population of just under 9 million people, which ranks it ahead of Sierra Leone. Austria has a purchasing power parity GDP of $463.12 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $51,900. The Philippines is an island nation in Southeast Asia. The flag of the Philippines is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of blue and red, with a white triangle on the left side of the flag, which contains 3 yellow stars, and a yellow 8-rayed sun, and is flipped upside down during wartime. The capital of the country is Manila, and the largest city is Quezon City, which has a population of almost 3 million people. The nation is an area of 114,145 square miles, or 295,633 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of Arizona, and has a population of over 114.5 million people. The Philippines has a purchasing power parity GDP of $871.56 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $8,000. Saudi Arabia is a country in the Middle East, on the Arabian Peninsula. It borders 7 other countries, which are Yemen, Iraq, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, Qatar, Kuwait, and Oman. The flag of Saudi Arabia features white thuluth text, with a white sword underneath on a green background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Riyadh. The country has an area of 830,000 square miles, or 2,149,690 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Mexico, and has a population of over 35 million people, which ranks it ahead of Angola. Saudi Arabia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.543 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $44,300. France is a country primarily in Western Europe, on the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. It borders 9 other countries, which are Andorra, Switzerland, Belgium, Spain, Germany, Monaco, Italy, Luxembourg, and Brazil. The flag of France is made up of 3 vertical stripes, of blue, white, and red. The capital and largest city in the nation is Paris, which has a population of over 2 million people. The country has an area of 210,017 square miles, or 543,941 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Texas, and has a population of over 68 million people, which ranks it ahead of the United Kingdom. France has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.832 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $42,000. The United States of America is a country in North America, on the Pacific, Atlantic, and Arctic Ocean. It borders 2 other countries, which are Canada and Mexico. The flag of the United States is made up of 13 horizontal stripes of red and white, with 50 white stars on a blue field. In the upper left corner of the flag, the capital of the nation is Washington, D.C., and the largest city is New York City, which has a population of over 8 million people. The country has an area of 3,797,173 square miles, or 9,834,633 square kilometers, which makes it one of the world's largest countries, and has a population of over 337 million people, which ranks it 3rd in the world. The United States has a purchasing power parity GDP of $19.846 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $60,200. Iceland is an island nation in the Atlantic Ocean. The flag of Iceland features a red Nordic cross, with a white border on a blue background. The capital and largest city in the country is Reykjavik, which has a population of over 134,000 people. The nation has an area of 39,769 square miles, or 103,000 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Pennsylvania, and has a population of over 357,000 people, which ranks it ahead of the Bahamas. The country has approximately 200 volcanoes. Iceland has a purchasing power parity GDP of $19.16 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $52,300. Singapore is an island city-state in Southeast Asia, near the Malay Peninsula. The flag of Singapore is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of red and white, with a white crescent moon and 5 white stars in the upper left corner of the flag. The country has an area of 272 square miles, or 704 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the Federated States of Micronesia, and has a population of a little under 6 million people, which ranks it ahead of Denmark. Mandarin, Malay, Tamil, and English are official languages in the nation. Singapore has a purchasing power parity GDP of $531.04 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $93,400. Seychelles is an island nation off the coast of East Africa, in the Indian Ocean. The flag of Seychelles is made up of 5 triangular stripes, of blue, yellow, red, white, and green. The capital and largest city in the country is Victoria, which has a population of over 26,000 people. The nation is an area of 176 square miles, or 467 square kilometers, which makes it more than twice the size of Washington, D.C., and has a population of over 97,000 people, which ranks it ahead of Andorra. It is both the smallest and least populous nation in Africa. Seychelles has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.4 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $24,400. Turkey is a country in Southwest Asia, with some territory in Southeast Europe, on the Mediterranean and Black Seas. It borders 8 other countries, which are Armenia, Syria, Azerbaijan, Iraq, Bulgaria, Iran, Georgia, and Greece. The flag of Turkey features a white crescent moon and star on top of a red background. The capital of the nation is Ankara. The largest city is Istanbul, which has a population of over 15 million people. The country has an area of 297,146 square miles, or 769,604 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of Texas. It has a population of over 83 million people, which ranks it behind Germany. Turkey has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.393 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $28,400. The United Kingdom is an island nation in Western Europe, on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 1 other country, which is the Republic of Ireland. The flag of the United Kingdom, aka the Union Jack, or the Union flag, features a red cross, bordered by white on top of a red X, bordered by white on top of a blue background. The capital and largest city in the country is London, which has a population of over 9 million people. The nation is an area of 93,630 square miles, or 242,500 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Oregon, and has a population of over 67.5 million people, which ranks it ahead of Tanzania. The United Kingdom has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.797 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $41,600. Luxembourg is a landlocked country in Western Europe. It borders 3 other countries, which are Belgium, Germany, and France. The flag of Luxembourg is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, white, and blue. The capital and largest city in the nation is Luxembourg City, which has a population of over 94,000 people. The country is an area of 998 square miles, or 2,586 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Rhode Island, and has a population of over 650,000 people, which ranks it ahead of Suriname. Luxembourg has a purchasing power parity GDP of $69.72 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $110,300. Slovenia is a country in Central Europe, on the Adriatic Sea. It borders 4 other countries, which are Italy, Austria, Hungary, and Croatia. The flag of Slovenia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of white, blue, and red, with the coat of arms in the upper left side. The capital and largest city in the nation is Ljubljana, which has a population of over 293,000 people. The country is an area of 7,827 square miles, or 20,271 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of New Jersey, and has a population of over 2 million people, which ranks it ahead of Guinea-Bissau. Slovenia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $76.75 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $36,500. Mozambique is a country in Southeast Africa, on the Indian Ocean. It borders 6 other countries, which are Malawi, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Zambia, Swatini or Swaziland, and Tanzania. The flag of Mozambique is made up of 5 horizontal stripes of teal, white, black, and yellow, with a red triangle on the left side of the flag, which contains the yellow star, as well as an AK-47, and a farming tool crossed on top of an open book. The capital and largest city in the nation is Maputo, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 308,642 square miles, or 799,380 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Pakistan, and has a population of over 31.5 billion people, which ranks it behind Peru. Mozambique has a purchasing power parity GDP of $38.42 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,200. Madagascar is an island nation in southern Africa, in the Indian Ocean. The flag of Madagascar is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of red and green, as well as a vertical white stripe on the left side of the flag. The capital and largest city in the country is Antananarivo, which has a population of over 1 million people. The nation has an area of 226,756 square miles, or 587,295 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Botswana, and has a population of over 28 million people, which ranks it ahead of Australia. Madagascar has a purchasing power parity GDP of $41.82 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,500. Djibouti is a country in East Africa, on the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. It borders 3 other countries, which are Ethiopia, Somalia, and Eritrea. The flag of Djibouti is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of blue and green, as well as a white triangle on the left side, which contains a red star. The capital and largest city in the nation is Djibouti City. The country has an area of 8,880 square miles, or 23,000 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of New Jersey, and has a population of over 957,000 people, which ranks it behind Eswatini or Swaziland. Djibouti has a purchasing power parity GDP of $5.42 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $5,500. The People's Republic of China is a country in East Asia, on the Pacific Ocean. It borders 14 other countries, which are Afghanistan, Vietnam, Bhutan, Tajikistan, Myanmar, Russia, India, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Nepal, North Korea, Mongolia, Kyrgyzstan, and Laos. The flag of China features a yellow star, as well as 4 smaller yellow stars in the upper left corner, on top of a red background. The capital of the nation is Beijing, and the largest city is Shanghai, which has a population of over 20 million people. The country has an area of 3,696,118 square miles, or 9,572,900 square kilometers, and has a population of over 1 billion people, which ranks it first in the world. China has a purchasing power parity GDP of $23.009 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $16,400. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is a country in Central Africa, on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 9 other countries, which are Angola, Zambia, Burundi, Uganda, the Central African Republic, Tanzania, the Republic of the Congo, Rwanda, and South Sudan. The flag of the Democratic Republic of the Congo is made up of 3 diagonal stripes of yellow and red, as well as a yellow star on top of a blue background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Kinshasa, which is located on the Congo River. The country has an area of 905,568 square miles, or 2,345,410 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than Algeria, and has a population of over 108 million people, which ranks it ahead of Egypt. The Democratic Republic of the Congo has a purchasing power parity GDP of $96.03 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,100. Germany is a country in Central Europe, on the Baltic and North Seas. It borders 9 other countries, which are Austria, Switzerland, Belgium, Poland, Czechia or the Czech Republic, the Netherlands, Denmark, Luxembourg, and France. The flag of Germany is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of black, red, and yellow. The capital and largest city in the nation is Berlin, which has a population of over 3 million people. The country has an area of 138,065 square miles, or 357,587 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Montana, and has a population of over 84 million people, which ranks it ahead of Thailand. Germany has a purchasing power parity GDP of $4.238 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $50,900.